And good morning. Joe Justice here, coming to you live on June 8th, 2023. It is Thursday. I like to call that Thrive Thursday. I won't be here tomorrow, so I'm going to go ahead and make this a feel-good Friday show as well. I thought we'd get some nice up-tempo music and something good going on. By the way, really cool shout-out to Pixabay, which is the website that I get all of my music from, and it, they don't require any royalties or anything, so it's all just free and available to use. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool way to get some tunes, because it's always better with your podcast to have a little bit of music going, right? I like it that way. So I want to remind you, if you are looking to improve your health or fitness and get onto the right track, be sure to go to joejustice.org and joejustice.org/join. Sign up for my health and fitness group. We get every Mondays and Fridays we meet via Zoom to do our workout, and then what you do in between is up to you, but I will try to push you and prod you. I will give you the information, the motivation, and the inspiration you need to move forward with your day. Be sure to join and be part of it. Click on the link, joejustice.org/join. I've got a big busy day ahead of me today, but I definitely wanted to be sure to come to you today and talk about something that, comes up quite a bit. Yesterday was all about whether or not you really need to exercise, or whether you really need to exercise or not to lose weight. Can you lose weight just by diet alone? And today, talking on a similar type of topic, is how much exercise do you need? So the big question, of course, is yesterday, was dealing with, do you need to exercise? Long story short, yes, you do need to exercise. It is not necessary to lose weight, but your body craves exercise. So as we're talking about that, it always comes up, how much do you need to exercise? And of course, with a lot of people, they kind of look into the extreme ends of things. So they look at like bodybuilders and professional athletes. They read about, the exploits of folks like that, and they imagine, being in the gym for 2 hours a day or doing 2-a-days, jogging or running or marathon training. They're thinking about hours and hours and hours worth of exercise, minimum of 1 hour, and, all this kind of stuff. So what they end up running into is they kind of talk themselves out of exercise. That's the experience that I have, because it's immediately overwhelming. Now, you can do that for a short period of time. You can kind of white knuckle and push yourself to go to the gym for, an hour a day or 2 hours a day, or to do 2-a-days where you go to the gym in the morning and you do some heavy lifting in the morning, and then you go for a run later that afternoon. You run for an hour, and you can do that for a week or two. You can get super motivated and get all your energy up and tell all your friends, so yeah, we're going to do this every day, and get all jacked up and excited, build those endorphins. But does that last? And of course, we all know the answer to that is no. Actually, interestingly, one of the big reasons for that is if you tell your friends that you're going to do something, it gives you the same endorphin rush as if you actually did something, as if your friends. So when your friends say good job, so you say, I'm going to go to the gym, and your friends say good job, that's the same thing as your friend saying good job going to the gym. So you've already got that positive reinforcement. So your emotional drive isn't there. And little psychology hack for you. What drives you? What drives all human beings? It's emotion. Emotion is the mechanism that drives human behavior. Not reason, not logic, nobody sits and thinks things through and then does what they do based on their reasoning. If you believe that, you're living under a misnomer. What you have to do is build emotion. Emotion is the driving force. That's why if you don't really care about something, even though you know it's good for you, you won't do it. Diet, exercise are obviously the best examples of that, but there's tons of other examples of that type of behavior. Let's say at work, let's say you got to make a phone call and you just procrastinate. Making that phone call will achieve your goal, but you don't do it even though you know it. So how is that? How is it that logically, using reason, that phone call will make the difference, but you don't want to do it? It's because you don't have emotions driving you. You have to create an emotional connection that drives you. So that's the problem that you run into if you do too much exercise too soon, you change your diet too much, you strip everything out of your diet. You can white knuckle that. You can use sheer willpower to pull that off. It's absolutely possible, but it won't last for very long. So I prefer a systems-based method rather than a goals-based method. And that's a day-to-day type of activity. What can you do? Can you go to the gym for 2 hours a day? Most people are going to say no, they can't do that. So, and then they just give up. Well, and that's what it takes, so I'm just not going to exercise. Well, that's the absolute worst thing you can do. Let's back that way, 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 way back. Can you go for a walk for 10 minutes a day? Now, I don't know anybody who's going to say no to that. Now, you could, if you're really trying, you could, my schedule's really tight. You could make 10 minutes for a walk, even if you're just walking around your block at work after lunch. Even if it's just walking to lunch instead of driving to lunch. There's all kinds of things that you can do. It's taking the stairs instead of the elevators. It's, on and on and on. There's all these things that you could do to get that 10-minute walk in, to get that 10 minutes of exercise. Now, once you start turning that into a regular habit, then the question becomes, how much does it take to improve from there? Well, the good news is that if you start from a baseline that's very low, so if you start from a very sedentary lifestyle, 30 minutes a day is pretty much all you need. And there's lots of data and studies that have come out that kind of point to this. If you're starting at a sedentary lifestyle, any changes will have unbelievably large effects. Now, what happens is as you get better, as you become less sedentary, then those small changes don't have as much of a role, and that's when you need to start doing progressive overload. So you might go from walking from 30 minutes, which is fine, to maybe something like speed walking, walking faster, or maybe even jogging, or something called rucking, which is where you get weights, like a weighted backpack or a sandbag or something like that, and you carry that for 30 minutes. So instead of just doing a walk, or the other a similar alternative would be hiking uphill for a half hour, 20 minutes, or something like that. So you begin to add on to that, and then maybe you want to get into calisthenics, maybe a half hour of calisthenics, or maybe you want to do an hour of calisthenics, and then you want to add on to that, maybe put 10 minutes of weightlifting in there, and then do 10 minutes of weightlifting, and then you want to throw in some other things. So how much exercise do you need? You need at least a half hour a day of low-intensity exercise. If you're trying to be a professional athlete, yes, you need more than that. Yes, you will. If you're trying to reach peak physical status, then you're probably going to need something like 2 a days. You're probably going to need to do weightlifting in the morning and some kind of cardiovascular training in the afternoon. But that's not most people, and that's not the people that I'm talking to. If that's the situation that you're in, obviously this podcast and what I'm talking to you about, it's not for you. This is for people that are trying to get going, trying to get motivated, just trying to live everyday lives and improve themselves so that they can live a happier and healthier life. That's the vast majority of people out there, because everyone's struggling so much in this modern world with just sedentary lifestyles and not moving and not getting things done. So how much exercise do you need? Half hour a day, low intensity, and then as that becomes routine, then just start adding to it and making it more consistent and more difficult progressive overload. Thank you so much for watching today. I will talk to you again in a week or so, and I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. That's it for Thrive Thursday. Have a great day, and bye-bye for now.